Good afternoon, I'm Jeff. I'm a sewer tech Northwest. Today we're at property address 2009 Parkside Court here in West Lynn. We're located at the rear of the home. We're just off, or basically off to the side, depending on how you're looking at it. We're right at the rear of the house next to the stairs here coming down. We have a 3-inch ABS cleanout as our point of access. I'm going to insert the camera and check the overall condition and serviceability of the sanitary sewer line. We currently have water running. Here we go. There's kind of some strange grease buildup right here at this joint. And it's honestly possible that a root intrusion could be underneath that stuff. It's kind of a weird area for grease to collect, considering there's no standing water here. As you can tell, we're going through a significant amount of standing water and debris here. Looks like there's a significant belly there in the line. Well, when we drain the line out at the end here, we'll have a better look at that. With the water running here pretty consistently, there's over an inch of standing water. This is going to look a little different once we drain it out, but that water level is staying over the top of the camera lens, the vast majority of the belly. Transitions here at about 89 feet out over to, it looks like 4-inch schedule 3034 PVC pipe. Looks like we have another spot here with a belly in the line. And I'm getting close to the extent of my camera cable here, unfortunately. I'll have to keep my eye out on the way back for a secondary clean out. And it looks like it transitioned somewhere there under the water over to concrete pipe. And here I'm at the end of my cable, so I'm going to let the line drain out here for a couple minutes. Alright, I attempted to locate this where the camera head is at currently. There's a large amount of foliage back there at the kind of the rear right corner of the property. That's where the line appears to be headed. I'm picking up a signal right beyond those bushes where I can't really get through them. They're very, very thick. Now I'm going to reel back here a little bit and try and relocate again. That does appear to be the direction it's headed, and likely it's headed over to an easement, which is very commonly right around the fence line or just beyond the fence line. The standing water we're seeing here, this line's been drained out now for probably a few minutes. So this is all standing water here. And this is over an inch. I'm going to bring it back to about 95 feet and try and relocate again, get some paint markings down. And I would definitely check with the city. It's very common that once the line transitions over to PVC pipe like this green pipe, it's a change of responsibility as well. I'm going to bring it back here just a few feet more. I actually think by the time that we located the camera there at about 110 feet out, that was beyond the fence line. So I was picking the camera head up about at 90 feet there, about 5 feet or so beyond the kind of the gravel fire pit area. It looks like we might have a secondary cleanout right here. Alright, so I was able to find the secondary cleanout, and this right here is about 4 to 5 feet beyond the gravel underneath a couple giant bushes down there. It's in a very difficult location to get to. I'm going to try and get my camera in there. The hard part is getting the angle right to push the camera out properly, being at such an awkward spot to try and scope from. So anyway, I painted the cap there. I shot some white paint underneath the bush over the cap just to make it more obvious. This is still... We still need to come back here to around 80 feet before we even get out into the kind of the gravel fire pit area. That's mostly just a marker to show where the line is headed to, make it a little bit more obvious. That portion of the line does not need any repair work. It looks like there's like 2 or 3 different bellies here. The first 2 are basically continuous with each other. Right here at 98 feet out, this is most likely beyond the fence line, given kind of where I'm locating at, or right at it. So, unfortunately, this is a spot where I'm not going to be able to get to. Even if the bushes were gone, this is it looks like it's beyond the property or the fence line anyway. So, I would recommend contacting the city and show them the video so they're aware of the issue here with the standing water. Getting a lot of debris and stuff up on the sidewalls there, and that generally is only able to deposit on the sidewalls when the line's filling up completely, which should not be happening, especially in a 6-inch line. Anyway, I'm going to pull back here to the belly that I can get to and get that painted. But that other belly there in the PVC portion of the line started at 98 feet. And continued all the way out to where my camera stopped at 110 feet. This belly right here at the very end is all the way up to 1 inch of standing water here, so I'm going to push out to right where this belly dissipates at. Which looks like it's right around here at about 74, 75 feet. Alright, so where the belly stops here is basically, it's almost smack dab underneath the fire pit down there. It's just barely underneath it looks like right now. And I'm picking the camera head up, or just off to the side of it. But I've marked with a white X there. Picking the camera head up at 3 feet 6 inches deep, so not terribly deep there. Which is unfortunate that it's not graded any harder than that, because right around where the PVC portion of the line starts, it dives really hard. So this line could have had a harder angle put on it to help prevent the belly from occurring. I'm going to do markings about every 10 feet. There'll be an X at either end of the repair, and then white lines or dots in between just to show the direction the pipe is running. You can see how much debris is collected here in the line. Water's thick with it. And the issue is it's like hitting a pool at the bottom of the water slide. You come to a stop really quickly. So does the toilet paper and everything else coming down the line. It hits the water and stops, and then everything else behind it can start building up on it and cause a blockage. Okay, I'm just drawing a white line on the ground here. Very similar depth, around 3 feet 5 inches deep. The reason I'm pulling back this far, I'm trying to get an idea of where the belly starts exactly. You've got there's a few different bellies in here. One of the kind of bellies in between the two deep spots is obviously fairly minimal, but it's definitely contributing to a flow problem. And when you have that amount of pipe out of grade, you have to generally correct it all anyway. So I'm going to map out the entire thing. The belly starts right here at 27 feet. It is a very large section of the line. It's about 50 feet long. Alrighty, so if you're standing where the cleanout's at, looking into the backyard, this is just down the hill, right where there's some river rock, and it's right in the middle of that where the belly starts at. Again, 3 feet 6 inches deep. It looks like the repair is basically the same depth all the way across, which is very normal with bellies. Is the line should go deeper, deeper, deeper as it moves out, and this one is staying level. And pick the locator up there, or the camera head up at 3 feet deep. I'm going to push out here and do one more marking. Alrighty, I have the whole belly mapped out here. Again, there's a white X at either end. Belly starts in the river rock, kind of adjacent to the little bridge here in the backyard, about 3 feet 6 inches deep, and extends all the way out to the right next to the fire pit is where the belly here, and in the ABS anyway. Once you get back out into the PVC pipe about 10-15 feet, once it switches to 6-inch pipe, there's another belly there. And that one, unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to get to and locate, but I would definitely contact the city, as generally, once you hit the PVC pipe, that's often where the city or homeowner and city change hands in responsibility. We have the dishwasher discharging in there, that's why the pipe's all steamy. So anyway, from 27 feet to 75 feet, I do recommend a repair to correct the slope and grade. The belly that starts out somewhere around 98 feet and extends out to 110 feet and beyond. That part of the line I'm not going to be able to locate, and it's very likely the responsibility of the city. So I would contact them and submit the video to them, and see if they'll do any repair work, or at least make them aware of it. And then there's one other, it's hard to say if it's an issue going on back here. It's right at the start of the line, right where the pipe angles off here. We have some grease that's building up on the sidewalls. I don't see any root strands protruding out from that. It's just the way that that's formed there. It's kind of similar to how roots grow through a joint, but anyway, I don't see any roots protruding from it. I would avoid putting any grease down the line so this kind of thing doesn't happen. But this is about 2 feet out from the clean out here. But without roots poking out, I'm not going to recommend a repair there. Anyway, I recommend a rescope after the repair. It's very important to do that. The way that this line is, once you get down, the property slopes to the backyard. Once it kind of drops down and levels out, the pipe is only about 2.5 feet deep. It's very, very shallow down there. So this is one you're going to want to get a plumber a part of, or at least a couple, and get some ideas of the best way to resolve this issue. Sometimes if it's just not really feasible to attain proper slope and grade, an ejector system is something that can be worth looking into, that forces everything through all that water. So. Anyway, there's the backyard area. My camera doesn't have that great a shot of it, but the whole belly is back there. Okay, we're down here at the secondary cleanout. It's underneath this bush here. I kind of painted it white. Directly behind us here is the fire pit area, which again is right, that white X there on the ground is where the that major belly, that 50-foot long belly ends at. We have another cleanout here. I'm going to zero out right here. Now, unfortunately, I've been working at this here for a few minutes, and I cannot get the camera to flip around and go the right direction. It keeps wanting to go back towards the house. And a lot of that has to do with the bushes here. It's extremely difficult to get a camera set up in here to get it to scope the right direction. So, anyway, you probably have to clear some of these bushes out of here to even be able to scope this properly from this point out. Anyway, this clean out right here, only about a foot or two beyond that is where it transitions over to green PVC pipe. And then once it hits the 6-inch pipe shortly after that, then the belly starts again, or there's another belly in the line. Unfortunately, that's basically this right here, starting at the original cleanout we scoped from, all the way out to, this was, I believe, around 87 feet right here at this cleanout. So beyond that is going to put the line beyond the fence line. It does dive off pretty hard here, but a lot of those other issues are from the fence line and beyond.